Hello and welcome to our Lamvin webinar, where we offer the art of sound solutions. Today we'll be discussing hanging baffles and ceiling clouds. I'm Mark Rich, VP of Sales, and with me today is Rick Farthing, Design Engineer Manager. Today's agenda: hanging baffles, ceiling clouds, the design and look, various applications, and installation methods. We'll be going into detail on each one of these. Let's start with hanging baffles. We're going to go into single or double cores, certain material limitations, different styles of facers, mounting options, different types of materials, and sizing and capability. Rick, let's start off with sonic single core baffles. Can you explain to the audience what is a single core baffle?
Well, the single core baffle is just like its namesake. It is just a solid fiberglass core wrapped on all 6 sides in the fabric. It has a hardwood spine on the top for the mounting hardware, whether it's a roto-fast eye hook or for threaded rod. And it offers a good solid look. It does have its limitations on the width of the fabric to wrap all around all 6 sides. So it does have its size and shape constraints, but it's one of our more popular baffles.
So the one thing the audience can take away from this would be the fact that since it does have to be wrapped on all 6 sides, there could be certain material constraints due to that.
Correct, especially if you get into custom shapes similar to the image on here, where you have these custom blades going from a larger to smaller size.
Good to know. Now let's go on to our sonic dual core baffle. As Rick had pointed out, in the single core, it was wrapped on all 6 sides. These are wrapped on 4 sides, effectively taking 2 of the single cores, putting them together. Some of the key takeaways that you'll have here is you'll have larger thicknesses that you can use. You can use different styles of fabrics. Matching them up is a little bit more challenging because you're taking 2 separate panels. But if you're looking for that nice thick option to where you have a nice long baffle, that's probably going to be your best choice. Do you have anything else you'd like to add to this one, Rick?
Yeah, yes, it offers a lot more customization, so you can do a lot harder radiuses, clouds, ovals, jagged edges similar to this, and also, like you said, the size. You can get up to 36, 48-inch big by 8 feet long. Some actually larger size panels.
Excellent. So as we were kind of pointing out, the design and look and various applications play into the baffles. You have to look at the symmetry, the balance, where it's going to be going, certain size dimensions, based off where it's going to be hanging, how it's going to go. Important things to look at commonly are the materials that you have inside of the room that you'll be hanging these baffles, because as we point out, if you have glass walls, metal walls, concrete walls, if you don't have any carpets or rugs, the sound's going to be bouncing and moving all around. So typically what we recommend is if you have a lot of these hard surfaces, you want to cover roughly 20 to 40% of the room surface in some sort of acoustics. We're going to get into that in a second here. So as you can see here, here's a customer where they wanted exactly that. Lots of hard surfaces everywhere, but they needed to dial down the echo, the reverberation in the room. So they used our HUSHTONE HUSHBEAM products, which is a PET product, and hung the baffles in a symmetrical form throughout the ceiling to really add a little bit more of a intimate effect with the room, added a little bit of softness, as well as allowing the sound to be and the acoustics to be where they need to be. Rick, can you go into our Hush Bright Beam a little bit?
Yes, it's very similar to the well, it is the Hush Beam. This one has an added light fixture, LED, and again, it's suspended either by cable or threaded rod. And these are great. What I wanted to point out is if you see the ceiling, it does have air ducts and other obstacles in the way where normal clouds don't really work as well. whether it's sprinkler systems, spray coverage, not to impede any of those, where these baffles really work great. And they offer these, I think up to 8 feet. Yeah, 8 feet. And they come in some standard sizes for installation, but we're willing to work with the customer.
So as Rick had pointed out, the various styles of installation matter quite a bit when you're looking at a single core, dual core, or the hush wood or hush beams. So a lot of this is dependent upon how the contractor or installer needs to put it up, and also with the architect or the designer to get the ideal look that you need for the room. So with that, we have multiple options that work around a lot of the various problems that exist, to what Rick had pointed out with lights, sprinklers, vents, ducting. Depending upon the needs, and also, as he pointed out, with the ducting, a lot of times you might have airflow to where you want a threaded rod so the baffle doesn't sway from side to side, due to the air conditioning coming on. These are all things that need to be considered, and the Lamvin team can sit there and help you with these processes.
I'd also like to point out that we will work with the installers and the customers for custom locations for mounting, because every time you get out to the job site, things tend to not be in the same position of where you wanted them. Air ducts get put in and rerouted, and you might have to end up going around them.
Moving them around a bit. To his point, you can see it right here on the Sonic Timber plank. This is our timber line, which has the look of wood, yet adds the acoustical value that's needed for the room. What the customer did here was lower it in order to add a little bit more of an intimate setting. Use the threaded rods, as you can see here, so it's stationary. It's not going to sway. It's not going to move, but it gives the feel of, again, a lower ceiling, yet it's open, so that way you can move around all the various objects above it. This is our Sonic Timber Beam. I'm going to let Rick go into a little bit of detail on our Timber Beam product.
Yes, this is a fun product. It has a digitally printed vinyl, so we can do various wood species: cherry wood, oak, walnut, and it's put together similar to actual wood joinery, doing half laps and connection tabs on top. So all these beams are, well, woven together, and with various sizes and various thicknesses, ranging from a nice thin beam, usually 2.5 to 3 inches, to something as big as a ridge beam that can be 8, 12. So we can accommodate any size beam, limited on the length of the cores, which is fiberglass, but being a custom shop, if you can figure out a way to get it shipped over to you, we can make a 15-foot beam, but typically 12 footers are the most anybody would want to go because of shipping purposes, and
Yeah,
elevators don't accommodate.
So now we're going to go into our ceiling clouds. Ceiling clouds differ from our baffles, as you're going to see in a second here. We're going to go into the shapes, the limitations, the different facers, the materials, and as well as some of their capabilities. And now we're going to go into our EcoSonic custom cloud. Here you're going to see our red list free, formaldehyde free product put into an environment. These are really good for schools or environments to where they're really trying to limit the amount of chemicals coming into a location. Again, you can find more details on our website in regards to this product. We can use it in multiple locations. It's fantastic for a lot of those needs and uses. Now you're going to see our sonic absorber clouds. Rick, can you go into a little bit on what happened here in this situation?
Well, yeah, this situation, they had glass windows on either side, which limited how many panels we can put on the wall. So we went to the ceiling that they did paint black, and they wanted just kind of a bubbly feel. And they actually picked all the sizes and custom radiuses that they wanted for all these clouds. But we did run into the problems of some obstacles like sprinkler systems and smoke detectors and Wi-Fi repeaters, as well as the lights. Most of the lights were easily dodged, but you can see where, all the panels where needed can be field cut to accommodate any electrical or any other obstacles coming through. And it added a great effect on right above the audience to help control the noise.
To his point, again, with the clouds, going back to it, design, look, application, how it's going to be used, where it's going to be used, what do you need to overcome, what is the overall goal of the room. These are all things that our engineers such as Rick or our designers and also estimators will sit there and help you achieve your goals through these various products. We're going to go into a little bit of our HUSHTONE Zeppelin line. This is a PET line as well. As you can see here, these are hung via aircraft cable and or threaded rod. This particular customer chose a threaded rod because they wanted it in a fixed location. They didn't want any type of movement whatsoever, just in case. But as you can see the feel, it lowers the room a little bit, but it still leaves it that nice air open feeling. So again, different styles of products, different applications. Lamvin is very good at working with you and your team on getting the needs of the customer first in order to provide the acoustical requirements. This is our HUSHTONE Zeppelin Bright. Rick, can you go into a little bit of this, please?
Yeah, it's very similar to our the Baffle. It's got the aluminum LED lights that can be placed inside and just accommodate for the electrical, but exactly like the normal Zeppelin, it replaces any kind of other lightings that come standard in buildings that you want to replace by these Zeppelin clouds might actually be blocking the light. So we just attached them with right inside.
Makes sense. This is our sonic design form. This is a custom product line that Lamvin has. This is our arch style. This comes in 3 different sizes. As you can see with the pattern on the ceiling here, this adds just a lot of detail, a lot of focus to the room, but as well as it's not too obtrusive. So it's something to where if you're looking for something a little bit different, not a standard out there, this is a wonderful product to be using. Here you're going to see our diamond pattern. I'll let Rick go into a little bit of detail on this one.
Yeah, the diamond pattern is, in my opinion, the funner of all the patterns. You can really start letting your creativity run with it. These clouds are joined 3 panels each and then combined in an array. And it allows for a lot of geometric shapes to be formed within the ceiling that just make it move and come alive as you choose, while given that 3D look. And yeah, really impressive.
To Rick's point, looking at the installation of these types of products, depending upon what you choose or what's needed, we're going to advise you on whether you need a rotofast, an eye hook, an L bracket. These all vary based off size. The L brackets in particular work very well for larger items that need to be up there, so you don't have sag, you don't have some of these problems. They work, again, very well with that. If you need to move around, if you need to change something on the fly, different mounting location, rotofast is a great option for something like that because the installer can go through and change where the eye hook is going to be or add more than what's technically needed just because of the locations and where they're at. So again, our team will work with you guys to make sure that you're going to get the proper fit and feel for the room in regards to the installation. Here you're seeing our Keystone, again, sonic design form, very popular. It's got a different style feel to the product, comes in multiple sizes. We can make some custom sizes here as well. This really adds just a lot of good detail, form, fit, and function to the room. Sometimes you don't want to put things on the wall. Sometimes you can't because you have large windows here. So you add it to the ceiling. Maybe you don't want a baffle because it's a little bit lower of a ceiling height. So we'll add in different design forms like this to our products. This is our sonic design form plank. Rick, can you talk about this one?
Yeah, this is another fun one. It comes in 3 different sizes and more dependent upon the application, such as if you're using it as a backsplash between an upper and lower cabinet right on the countertop, you go with the small size to give that nice flat layered wood look. It also comes in different thicknesses, so you can give it a little bit more movement, 3D, as well as covering the entire back wall. And then like this application for the ceilings and walls around televisions. And we also offer it in a large size, which would be more for multi-purpose rooms, auditoriums, to give that same look, but from a long distance without, you know, taking up too much small pieces.
Absolutely. Another style that we happen to have that's custom to Lamvin is our wedge style. We see a lot of people, to Rick's point, some people use them on walls, some people use them on ceilings. It's all design, it's all look. Lamvin really excels at these multiple shapes. This does come in 3 standard sizes. If you need something custom, please reach out, let us know. We can certainly work with you on that. Again, just a more of a different design style outlook. Well, that's the end of our presentation today. We'd like to thank you for joining our short webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach us below. I'm Mark Rich, the VP of Sales, and with me today was Rick Farthing, Design Engineering Manager. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.